Hi happy crafters, how are you all? Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the second day of our 12 days of Christmas and me and Tom would like to welcome everybody, wouldn't we, Tom? Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. So thank you all for tuning in. If you're at home and cosy, that's brilliant. Grab a cup of tea, we've got lots to show you. If you're watching on Facebook, please don't forget to like and share. And if you're on YouTube, please click the subscribe button so we get more followers so we can do much more in the future. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Toni. I am a guest presenter on Create and Craft TV, and it's an amazing channel where you can get the best stuff, the best demonstrators and the best presenters. So if you haven't been on Create and Craft, you need to go check it out. So a couple of the things we're going to do today. Yesterday I did a little bit of an introduction into some pens and some inks, and I showed you the colour swatch. I hope that answered the questions of the people that were asking of me. Since then we have had some questions about other things. I did put out there that if there's anything you wanted me to show you or anything you wanted me to educate you on, I would do it if I could, and if I couldn't I would find out for you. So yesterday we did the lovely Christmas scene that most of you bought on our launch on television, and a lot of you have said could you quickly show the second set as well. I did do this live on TV, but I do appreciate it will have dropped off catch up now, so you won't be able to catch it. So I am going to do a quick demonstration now. I'm not going to mount it onto a card, I'm just going to show you the concept of it because I've got other demonstrations I want to show you. So this message came in about half an hour ago, so I've quickly put something together so I can just show you the demonstration quickly. So yesterday we showed this scene, and it was the lovely like winter set scene where you could create some beautiful masculine cards or a winter Christmas scene or anything you wanted to really, and you could jazz it up as much as you wanted to. But I have been asked to do this one, so I'm going to quickly show you this one, but I'm not going to mount it onto a card. I will still give it away, but it's the same concept as the other one, and but it gives a completely different result, but I will quickly show you. So if you look at the stamp set here, you can see it's pretty self-explanatory. On the other one it's got number 1, 2 and 3. On this one, because it just starts from bottom down, you can basically see how it will go. There is really no right or wrong way. Even if you swapped these two pieces out and put them on the wrong way, guess what? It still works. So there is no right or wrong way. Do not be hard on yourself. So we'll go with the top one first. We'll take it off our carrier sheet. Can I just pop that down there, Tom? I've just got some card here. So what I'm going to do is we'll just go for the top part first. So I'm just going to lay it onto my artwork here, and we'll do it with 4 coloured ink pads. So I'm using on today's show my own Generation inks, and I'm using a red, an orange, a green and a navy, just to show you how amazing these look in bright colours. I know that a lot of you have been doing bright colours on the Eureka fan page. That is amazing, and they do look stunning. So well done everybody. So just pop that down, Tom. So I'm going to go with the top colours first. So we're going to go with the red and the orange. So I'm just going to pick up the stamp. Watch it, darling. So I'm just going to ink the upper part of the stamp with the red. Now, because I want it to look like a true watercoloured image, I am going to spray it with a little bit of water. So, and then I'm going to stamp it out. And what will happen is all the water will allow the ink to blend. So we can see there we've got a bit of a sky going on. So the next one up, I'm going to do orange, and I'm just going to do it on the lower part of the stamp. And I'm also going to spray this one with water. And this will allow the bleed into the red. In fact, you can actually see on here, if you push, you can actually get the colour to go where you want it to, really, which is quite cool. So I have got a little bit of a patch here, so I'm just going to go back in with the red. Because I've obviously got the facility with the Eureka, I am going to go back in with the red and get a nice clear sunsetty sky. And it should all blend into one, which is amazing. You'll get a beautiful, realistic watercolour look then. So there we have that one. So I'll just clean that stamp off. So that's number 1 in the set. And now we're going to swap it out for number 2 in the set. So I'm just going to move my magnets further up the side here so it doesn't interfere with the second stamp. So this is the second stamp here. So you can either take this little mountain here and pop it in there like so, but there is truly no right or wrong way. If you stamp it down here and you have a big gap in there, it just creates a scene with further dimension. So it looks like you've got hills further back. So when you come to get it out of the set, if you want to do that and practice first, go for it. But if you want to do some dimension and you need to fill a card, just pull it lower like so. Because I am demonstrating how to use it properly, should we say, I am going to go with how it's meant to be. So I'll just pop it up there like so. Let's get out. So for the bottom one, I'm going to go for a bit of green on the top half of the stamp. I'm so sorry, ladies and gents, but Tom's headgear keeps knocking me. Take it off, darling. I'm just going to spray this one with water so I get a little bit of green over that cross of orange. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it out for the blue. So just get the blue one and take it from the bottom up. And I'm going to spray this one also. So this will give my image perspective, should we say. So I'll give it a good rub. Now can we see how we've got it all going on there? So I have got some lines in there and that's not a problem. I could spray and soften it if I wanted to, but if you take just a brush, you can smudge it out, look. Don't limit yourself just to the stamp. Have a really good go with it and play with it. They are truly beautiful. There is no right or wrong way. So that's our background. So before I do the black, I'm just going to dry that off. And then the image actually comes to life when you put your third layer on. And as I said yesterday, the third layer should be the most impacttive. So you would probably do it in your black ink or maybe some gold embossing. That would look beautiful. So the third layer is always going to create your silhouette of it, should we say. So that's number 2 on this collection. So just swap it out for the last one. These are large stamps, so do be careful when you're tearing them off your backing sheet. I mean, they are high grade, but I would hate for anybody to tear them just by not being cautious. So this is the black part of it all. So again, if you wanted to create perspective, you could bring it as low as here if you wanted to, or you can take it as high as you want. So let's put it where it's meant to be. So you know, if you're watching this video back, you know where it's supposed to go, and then you as a crafter with this stamp will grow and probably try different things. So you'll be pleased to know I have got a new black ink pad, so I shouldn't have to stamp out 10 million times, should we say. So once or twice should suffice now. So don't forget, everyday live studio for the next 12 days up to Christmas, and I will be giving away every make. I've announced the winners of yesterday's, so please make sure you comment or leave a remark with regards to which card you've enjoyed the most. I'm not going to put this onto a card, but I am still going to send it out. So I'll just clean that one off. Pop this back on its carrier sheet. Now within these lovely sentiments, I mean, surprised myself really with these. They were really difficult to do, but they have been truly well worth it. A lot of you have commented and let me know that, you know, you've found them amazing. So I will do my best to create some more. So I'm just going to pop this one under here. This one says, congratulations, you did it. And don't forget, excuse me, some of the techniques I do show don't have to be used with our products. You can use whatever you've got in your stash. But if you do like what we have got in the live show, all you have to do is go to the search box on our website and just pop in Facebook Live. And everything that I use today should be in there. So you don't have to faff and worry about where is this, where is that. So just FBL in the search box will suffice. So there we go. We see that lovely scene there. How lovely is that? Now if you did it in browns in the background and then painted, stamped this third one in a really dark brown, you would have a sepia like a photograph or something. So each to their own. It is really, really beautiful, and I can't wait to see. I mean, I have seen a lot of makes from you already and they have been absolutely knockout, so well done everybody. So if you do buy our products as well, you can pop onto our Eureka fan page. The lovely DT look after that area for me, and they're basically on hand 24/7. So let's move on to one of our first demonstrations then. What we're going to use today, yesterday we used the ink in the bottles, and today we're going to use the pens. And then over the next 10 days or so, I'll be visiting Scintillare and a few of our earlier products, Colour Essence and things like that, because I know a lot of you have got them at home. So let's get started. So I have a piece of cardstock here. This is watercolour card, okay? And the stamp I'm going to be using is the same one as I did yesterday, but I'm not going to be using the diamond element of it. I'm going to be using the floral element of it. So you see this one here, the large leaves, we're going to use this one. So we are going to do some heat embossing. So because we are going to be doing heat embossing, there's a few things that I ensure I always do to create a tidy card, should we say, because it's difficult sometimes with heat embossing. So tip number one, always use your anti-static bag. This gets rid of any moisture on your card, and if you're not getting the best results and the embossing's going everywhere apart from where you need it to go, then it means you've got a little bit of static on your card, and it's not the best really. So this one here, I'm just going to pop on here like so, and I'm going to create my own beautiful background. So I'm just going to pick the stamp up, and this time I'm going to use a clear ink. So a sticky ink, clear sticky ink. So I'm just going to ink up the stamp, and I'm going to stamp it out. I'm going to do it twice because I can, and I can't really see it, so I want to make sure that it's all covered. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one. I'm going to try and keep it so the stems are looking like they're coming off the page. Move it up. Now, probably a lot of people will say that you should ink and put the powder on every time you've done a stamp. I find it stays wet long enough to get what I need on there, so I'm not overly concerned. It shouldn't dry by the time I've done the stamp. So I'm just randomly stamping it all over this piece of backing card, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own amazing background. Let's move that out of the way. I'm trying to do it as quick as I can for you, so I'll just move this one over here. So out of the deco mount ones, there are lots of ones like this, so you could create a batch a big batch of all varying backgrounds and things. So what I'm going to do, just going to grab a piece of paper, and I'm just going to cover this in a white embossing. I'm thinking white on white, but what happens is when we add some colour, it works beautifully. So I'll just shake that around a little bit. So if you haven't got a white embossing powder in your stash, please get one. They are fabulous for technique based things. I haven't come across a bad one yet, so you know, just go and get any one really. They all work. So there you can see that there, it's all a bit of a background. We could have filled the gaps, but for time, it's the technique I'm wanting to show you rather than beautification, should we say. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat emboss that one. I'm going to get my gun good and hot because it gets less warp in the card. So off the page for 30 seconds, around 30 seconds ish. Then when I'm happy, it should disappear as I'm so you should just be able to see the detail on there. And I think we're done. Just double check just to make sure. There we go. So let's have some fun with this. So ahead of time, what I did was I did another background as well, so we're going to have two for the price of one in this show. So I have this one and I've mounted it onto my board, and I've got this one here which we've just quickly done. So we'll see what we go for time, and we'll just do this one. So I've just done the leaf one on there, but this one is the, you can't really see, it will come to fruition in a second. This is the one from the rectangle mount. So basically I'm going to use our fabulous pens, and I'm going to use, we normally do pinks and purples, let's do something different. So today let's do an orange and a yellow. So I'm going to give them a good shake to get them activated, get the colour going in there. And then all I'm going to take the lid off, remember you have to twist and pull, twist it. If you try and pull in like that, the reason it's got a twist action in there is to stop it from leaking. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the pen on both sides, and I'm just going to drop colour in to some spaces all over. And then I'm going to drop some orange in there as well. Just make sure my tape's down. And then some clean clear water, just going to tease it into place. And what will happen is the embossing that we've put down will resist. So I'm trying not to contaminate, so I don't want them to mix. I want it to be just connecting the two, should we say. Can you see how the embossing powder is resisting? So I'm cleaning my brush. I don't want to bring the yellow and orange together. I want them to remain as a separate entity. So that's all orange, so I will stay with that water. I've just connected there with the yellow, so I'm going to clean my brush and then I'll connect the yellow. Clean it again because it's just connected with orange. I've got to a yellow there, so I'm just going to clean my brush again. There is some yellow in the centre here, so as soon as I've connected with that orange there, the yellow, Stop when you connect with the colour. Make sure it's all covered, which it is nicely. So then what we're going to do there is, can you see how the image is resisted? Looks pretty awesome. Now that's going to dry back so sparkly. So let's just dry that off. I know it's difficult and I'm trying my best not to do it, it is doing it though. Try not to push one colour into the other, because you'll just lose your yellow because the orange is darker. So try not to push it into the yellow. Making sure I've taken it right to the edge there. I've got some white spaces in here, just fill those in. So the more I dry it, the sparklier it gets, which is super cool as well, because you're thinking when you're actually using them, where's the sparkle, but it comes to life as soon as it starts to dry back. Now if you at home have got more time to let it dry back naturally, please do so, because when you use your gun you burn the pigment in there. So you don't ruin it as such, but if you put two alongside each other to see the difference, you would see how much brighter. I think that's good enough to go. So whilst it's like it is, so it's dry now. Yeah, it's dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to bleach out some of the colour within the image. So all you need to do, clean clear water, small brush, and where you want to take the colour out, which is fabulous because these inks are reactive with water. So you add water and it will lift some of the colour out. I'll just grab a tissue. So let's lift some of the water out of these petals. So I'll just get a closer shot for you so you can just see exactly what I mean. So I'm just clean clear water and I'm just popping it in this area here where this petal is. Sorry for the headshot, I'll get my head out of the way. It's not a pleasant sight. So I've added water inside there. You see that? And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the tissue and dab it in. You see how it's lightened it there? If you want to lift it even more, add more water. You can practically take it back to the natural cardstock. It's so cool. So I'll just leave that water on there a second and then we'll lift it out. So I'll just do a different one so you can see. So let's spin it round. Let's do this one. So I'm just going to let the water sit on there a second. Let's go back to this one. See there? See the difference in the two? So let's go and do this one. Okay, see how it's bleaching it out? So I would go round probably most of these, wetting them out. Taking the colour back out. Just put lots of water, just do them all while I've got a brush in my hand. You see how it's like pushing it back? It's so cool. Here we go, look. So if I wanted to do this numerous times, I could practically get this image back to early if I wanted to. Can you see there? So let's put some let's make it look a little bit artistic-y in the background. So I've got my clean clear water on my brush here, and I'm just going to tap some water on there. Not lots. She says not lots. It's one of those, isn't it? You just get carried away. Like so. And I'm just going to leave that a second. And then I'm just going to get some tissue. And then I'm going to lift some of those splashes out of there. I'm just going to give it a second to activate though before I actually do it, because I really want this background to like pop. Then all you do is you pop some tissue on top. If you've seen this technique before, you know, try and experiment with the different backgrounds in there. Can we see now? And it's so sparkly, and unfortunately the camera is just not quite giving it justice, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. So what I'm going to do is, in the pen collection as well, we have gold. So I am just going to give it a good shake, and I'm going to squeeze some onto my mat. And I'm going to pick some up with my brush. I'm going to put some gold splatters in the background as well. I'll just brush. Like so. And if you get like a big blob somewhere, which I've got a bit of a blob going on there, you can lift them out with a tissue. So I'll just dry that off and get this mounted onto a card. So if you wanted to bleach it back even further, do it the once, give it a second and go back in. You could practically bleach it out to nothing. But what I suggest is still remain some colour in there, because it sort of like defeats the object. You could have masked it if you wanted to get rid of it all. Does that make any sense at all? So do leave some colour in there. So it's actually drying really sparkly now. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just love these pens. I love this technique. I love anything to do with ink. So you're always onto a winner with me. So let's get this mounted onto a card. I'm just using Floral tacky glue. So it's just the one for speed really. I'm just going to pop it on there. So ahead of time, I heat embossed a sentiment from one of the scene stamps, and it's this "You inspire me to dream big," and I did it on some black cardstock, and I'm just going to show you a technique on how to maybe make a banner. So I've done it longer than I needed to, and I'm just going to snip it off here. I'm just going to snip it off here. And then these two ends that are remaining, I'm just going to create a bit of a flag on the end. And that one. Done this one. And to make it look a bit more realistic, I'm just going to take the harsh point off here and just curve it a little bit. Just a little bit, nothing fancy. You can leave it square, but I'm just going to take the harshness from there. Like so. And then I'm going to pop a pad under this one. Like so. A sticky pad, and I'm just going to pop it here so we get the best part of the image. So the bit that you really want to hide, if you've not one area that you really want to hide, like so, pop it on. And then the two remaining bits that we've got left, we will stick underneath. So pop a little bit of glue under one tab. And we get like a little bit of a cheating banner. Make sure it's level, best we can. so when it sticks. So there we have 2 lovely cards, 2 different ways of using them. I will put this on a card for one lucky winner, but we are out of time and I don't want to start the other one and frustrate you because I can't finish it. So maybe we'll do that one tomorrow. But 2 beautiful cards going to 2 wonderful winners. Don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So that's day 2 out of the way, day 3 tomorrow. Have a great evening, whatever you're doing. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bye.